These are the old quarries and the entrance to the glen at Monkcastle near Dalry in North Ayrshire. The wildlife here is very good. Plant flora, large number of different sorts of ferns. A lot of evidence of old quarrying. These lands were held by the monks from Kilwinning Abbey, and it's thought that the stone from here was used to build old Monkcastle itself, which was the country retreat of the abbots of Kilwinning Abbey. The feather-like ferns here are common polypidae, and the more shiny green ones are heart's tongue. Heart's tongue is very indicative of limestone. Sometimes in areas where there's no lime around, you find them growing within the mortar, which is lime rich within stone walls. This is the Monkcastle burn. The quarries here were worked until about the 1900s, around about that sort of date. The main waterfalls in the distance. And this bridge leads to a path that runs up from here, which is old Monkcastle, towards Monkcastle, a more modern house. This is known as the Black Man's Path, because in the late 18th century there was a servant here of African origin. He's buried in the cemetery at Kilwinning. It's difficult to ascertain the size of the original glen here because of the extensive quarrying that took place here over many centuries. Certainly the Monkcastle burn, where is now a waterfall, that used to be solid rock, and the remains of the old riverbed, burn bed, are on the other side of the hill up here. So the course was quite different, which, if you like, is a new course, caused by the quarrying cutting through the original bed. A number of the less common interesting plants here, such as this one here, Gallium odoratum, which is the woodruff. It's a bit like sticky willy or cleaver's goosegrass, but in fact it doesn't grow in the same way at all. Very attractive white flowers in spring. This is a good site for a number of the less common plants. Aspen is supposed to grow here somewhere. Aspen's a tree that's very rare in Ayrshire. This is the main Monkcastle waterfall. In some severe winters, this is completely frozen up. The Scots name for a waterfall is a spout, so this is Monkcastle Spout. And at the top here is where the burn used to run to. This mound of rubble, stones, lying beneath old Monkcastle next to the burn, was said to be a dovecot at one time, and it seems more likely that it was an icehouse, as it stands next to the Monkcastle burn. Certainly in the years after the Reformation, when the house and grounds were of secular use, an icehouse would be a typical structure for the owners to require. This is the course of the original Monkcastle burn, before quarrying diverted the burn into the glen itself. The old icehouse lies to the right-hand side here. This would have been quite an impressive cascade of water at one time. The burn now lies across the way.